Hi everyone and welcome OG family. Happy Friday. My name is Kelly and I'm coming live to you from somewhere just north of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And welcome to Feature Friday. So over the next little while, I just want to share with you guys a little bit about my story, if you don't know me already. And then I also want to have a little bit of a conversation about authenticity and how to build your business in a way that's authentic to you. So first, a little bit about me. I am a physiotherapist by profession. I grew up in a household where, it was tradition to go to school, get good grades, go to school, get a degree, go to school, get another degree, maybe go to school even more and get even more degrees, and then get a really good, well-paying job, and that's it. And I kind of went down that path and I found myself just feeling really stuck and really unfulfilled. And I could tell that it just wasn't how I wanted to continue living my life. And so somewhere along that way, someone planted a seed of entrepreneurship, of living a life by design. And so I started to explore that journey a little bit. And so some of you may be in that space right now. And if you are, I'd love to hear from you down below, just kind of what stage are you at? Are you starting to explore the concept of entrepreneurship? Are you a part-time entrepreneurship? Are you just dipping your toes? Or are you full-blown, like I am an entrepreneur 100%? So everyone's kind of on their own little journey. And so throughout that journey, I actually ended up building my own brick and mortar physiotherapy practice, which if you're a business owner, if you started a brick and mortar business, you know that takes a lot of work up front. It takes a lot of capital. And so that was a huge lesson for me, because a lot of the capital that I invested into that business was my own personal capital that I put into that. So here I am, I'm at this place where, I've decided that I'm not fit to be an employee for the rest of my life, and that's not how I want to continue to live. I was scared about 20 years down the road, finding myself stuck in a job that I hated, living a life that was making me miserable, and I knew that I didn't want to go down that path. So luckily, someone planted the seed of entrepreneurship, the seed of it's okay to do something different. It's okay to look for different options, and choices are a good thing. And, a really great lesson that Sachin often preaches, Sachin Patel, he says, live a life by design. You want to design and build your business around the lifestyle that you want to create for yourself. And so that was the concept that I started to explore. I had no idea that Organo was going to be a part of what that looked like, but I was just kind of playing with these ideas and these concepts in a way of doing something that was different than how I had traditionally been, trained to do, if you will. So I actually stumbled upon Organo, and I actually joined the business after only drinking 3 sachets of coffee. I think it was 2 black and 1 king. And I think I had a little sip of green tea at a mixer. And so I jumped in with the gold pack after 3 sachets, which I would say is not typical at all. Most people are going to start out as a customer. They're going to have some sort of product experience. And so that part of my story, I would say, is not pretty typical. But my personality type is, when I find something that fits with where I'm looking to go, I jump 2 feet in and I don't look back. So that's exactly what I did. I jumped in 2 feet. I trusted the leadership that I met. I trusted Dr. Bob. I resonated with Diane Solano. And I knew that they were going to be able to lead me to where I wanted to go. So I had 0 experience in network marketing. I had no education on direct sales. I didn't know the business model. I was never exposed to it growing up. So it was all very, very new. but I knew that, you know, this was something that over time was going to allow me to have more options in my life, to have more choices in my life. And, you know, the thing about choices and options is it's something that we all like. Everybody likes choices, you know. We like to be able to have the option to do all these things in our lives. Everyone enjoys that. And so I came out of the gate like a firecracker. I knew there were a lot of skills that I needed to learn. And so I jumped 2 feet in. I watched a ton of videos. I followed mentorship, and I did all of that. And so I found, you know, success fairly quickly out of the gate. And so the thing with success is, you know, I chatted a little bit about this on my conversations of success, but it's something that I've been really kind of thinking about and contemplating, you know, over the last year in terms of what I want my life to look like, what I want my business to look like, and how I want to continue to grow my business. So again, some of you may be in that point in your business where maybe you're feeling a little bit stuck. You know, there's a lot of turmoil and changes that are happening for everyone right now with the economy and just what life looks like. And so, you know, very understandably, if you're in that position where things just feel a little bit unstable for you and you're starting to question things. And so I found myself at that point in my life, in my business. And the way I like to describe it is it's like if you're a car. I like car analogies for some reason, but hopefully this makes sense. But if you're a car and you just slam your, you slam your foot on the gas pedal and you go, 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 and, you know, you ignore the engine light coming on, you can start to hear your brake pads squeaking, there's something rattling in the back, but you ignore all of that and you just go, 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 you're going to come to a time or a point where things are going to start to break down for you. So that might be physically, it might be emotionally, it might be financially, it might be in your relationships, spiritually, and that's going to be different for everyone. And I kind of found myself at that point. And so most times when that happens, we start to kind of ease off on the gas, because it's kind of like the universe is saying, okay, there's a little bit of rattling back there and your engine light is on. So, you know, you might want to take a look at that. And so what that is, you know, a metaphor really is any part of your life that maybe needs a little bit of attention so that your business can grow. So I talked a little bit about this on my conversations of success, but for me personally, the part or the area of my business and my life that I needed to start paying attention to was my own mindset, my own self-confidence, and my own self-worth. And that was the one thing that was really holding me back. I theoretically knew all of the actions I needed to take. That wasn't the issue. The issue was my own kind of motivation, my own I felt like I was just going, and then all of a sudden I hit a wall. And so it took a little bit of stepping back to focus on some of the elements that we often don't focus on when it comes to business. And so when you're in a business, regardless of what the business is, you know, we have to pay attention to our own selves and doing a little bit of self-care. And so that has really been my journey over the last, year and a half, 2 years, is finding this balance between business activity and personal growth. And, you know, you'll find that once you're going through this journey, and you may be experiencing this right now, but you'll find that you may be at a point where your business growth is go, 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 and then you have to step back and focus on personal growth. Or maybe you're on the other side of that and you're focusing too much on personal growth and not doing enough business activity. And so really it's about kind of finding that balance day to day, month to month, year to year, that's in alignment with what your goals for your organo journey looks like. And that is going to be different for everyone. And that's the cool part. So that's a little bit about my story. You know, I don't have a huge health testimonial. The products absolutely have helped me with certain things like energy, hormone balance, bowel regularity, and skin. So I'm loving that. But I'm grateful and thankful that my health is in a pretty good place. But it's been amazing to see and be a part of other people's health journeys that have, you know, other people that have experienced such a huge and positive shift in their health. So that's been really, really awesome to see. So I just wanted to chat a little bit about authenticity in your business, because that's something that over the last year or so has become something that I've really tried to focus on, because I realized that when I first started in network marketing, again, I had zero experience. I had zero knowledge, and all I knew how to do was to do what other people were doing. So I hadn't developed kind of my own personality within the profession yet. So I was kind of just modeling what everyone else was doing. And so I just sat down and I thought about three kind of the main things that have really helped me to stay authentic when building my business. You know, in an environment where everyone is talking about it and, you know, building a business around the same products, it can be really easy to kind of get lost in the shuffle and start to just compare, right? And we know comparison is the thief of joy, and you know, everyone experiences this. You know, it's human nature to compare, and sometimes, you know, you see other people who have been in the business for less time than you, but they're, you know, ranking up a little bit faster than you, or they're achieving this. It can be discouraging, right? And I think that we all have those moments, but this is where the authenticity comes in. And I think that if you're someone who is, you know, feeling that this is maybe an area that you'd like to focus on, I'm hoping these three little tips will help you out. So it was really important to me that I built a business that was congruent and in alignment with who I am, and what I want my life to look like, and what I want my business to look like moving forward. So number one, I tried to figure out a positive way to say this, but I was having some difficulty. But number one, if you want to write it down, is avoid imposter syndrome. So basically what imposter syndrome is, you know, is basically trying to pretend like something you're not, right? You're trying to be an imposter. You know, maybe you see, you know, someone else doing a live talk or a seminar or something, right? Or a post, and you basically try to just take that and fit it and make yourself fit into that box. That's kind of an example of imposter syndrome. Another example of imposter syndrome would be me trying to be Diane Solano. I cannot be Diane Solano. Diane is Diane and Kelly is Kelly. And we're two different people, and we have two very different personalities and approaches, and because we're two different people. And so sometimes it can be, you know, you can find yourself getting caught in that imposter syndrome. And so, you know, hopefully the next tip will help you. But number two is to focus on creation and not consumption. So oftentimes, you know, we get so stuck scrolling, and we get stuck in the scroll hole, if you will. And, you know, we see all these other really great posts or the way that someone is doing something, and we get stuck in consuming what they have. And we want to try to consciously, especially if you're someone who's trying to build a social media base or influence, or you're trying to build your own presence within your network, is you want to focus on creation and not consumption. So creation can look like anything you want it to look like. So it can look like creating social media posts. It can look like taking photos, posting your own stories, taking videos, maybe writing. Maybe you're a poet and you write really good poems. Maybe you draw, or you're an artist, or you like to create in a different way. Focusing on creation can put your own personality and put your own individuality into anything that you're putting out there into the world, whether that's through conversation, whether that's through presentation, whether that's through digital media. So focusing on creation, planting those seeds for yourself, because you never know where that seed might end up and when that seed might turn into a wonderful, beautiful tree. And number 3, and this is probably the most important part of being authentic and building an authentic business, is getting to know yourself. And this is the piece that a lot of people, we were like, oh yeah, I know myself. We skip over it. We don't put enough attention into it because it seems really easy. But this is probably the most difficult step if you've actually put in the work to do this. But get to know yourself in terms of your values. What are your values when it comes to business, your business relationships, what you see your life looking like? What are your personal values? What are your business values? What is your mission? How do you want to help people? What does your personal brand look like? Who are you? What do you stand for? What do you like? How do you like to do things? What don't you like? All of that comes into play when you're trying to build a personal brand and be authentic in your business. At the end of the day, especially when you're in an environment where, everyone's, we are Organo, but we're all our own person within Organo. And that's the really beautiful part, is that when you find who you are and you can come out and show up as the person that you really are, you're going to attract the people, and you're going to attract the customers, the business builders, the team members, the mentors that align with who you are and who you want to be and where you're going. You will attract that tribe of people for yourself. And all of that, those 3 steps, avoiding imposter syndrome, focusing on creation and not consumption, and getting to know yourself, all of those 3 things are really going to help you to build belief in yourself. And it's going to take care of that car maintenance, so that car can keep going, so that you can keep putting your foot on the gas pedal. So if you want to recap, that was number 1 was avoiding imposter syndrome, 2, focus on creation, not consumption, and number 3, getting to know yourself. So I hope that was really helpful for you guys. If you want to let me know in the comments which one of those 3 you are going to commit to focusing on over the next week, over the next month. Maybe you've identified that that's an area that you might need a little bit more conscious effort in. I'd love to know in the comments, because I think that there's a lot of people out there who might resonate with what I've gone through on part of my Organo journey. So that's it for today. Thank you all for listening. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend, and we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.